This radio program is PG-13. Parents strongly caution some material may be inappropriate for children under the age of 13.
The following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Arizona, Phoenix, Maricopa County, Brother Mike. Back on the radio. Welcome to HardcoreChristianity.com. Thanks for tuning in to the program. Welcome to 1010 AM KXXT Christian Radio. Today's Bible study, Gambling, Arizona's New Plague. Hey, will you call somebody and tell them the radio program's on? Got a lot of good information here for you today on gambling and how you can be cured if you know someone who has a gambling addiction. This is Brother Mike. I'm a professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center. We're downtown on 15th Avenue, just south of Osborne Road. It's the red brick building. HardcoreChristianity.com is our website, and as you'll notice, we have 2 live services every week, Thursday and Friday evenings at 7 o'clock. We have 2 live Zoom healing and deliverance services every Tuesday and Wednesday night. Tuesdays at 6:30 for the ladies. Wednesday night is at 6 p.m. We also have children's healing and deliverance services, women's seminars. I have a Sunday podcast every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. Just go to twitch.tv and put in HCCADC. The PayPal button's on the website. Thank you for sending all your donations in. We do appreciate it. I don't take a salary for the ministry. I put all the money back into the service of the Lord. And when you send your money, it doesn't go to me. It goes directly into the ministry. Send me an email, Mike at HardcoreChristianity.com. I'll send you a religious exemption for the next vaccine hoax. It's already been released. Gambling, Arizona style. Have you been watching this unfold? 2 years ago, as you well know, gambling was legalized in Arizona, okay? The whole country is being literally destroyed by Satan. Two of his most important features of destroying the country, as you well know, has been legalizing pot and legalizing gambling. Legalizing pot and legalizing gambling. It is destroying the country and crushing Arizona. Arizona is one of the top gambling states in the entire country now. I don't know if you're aware of that, but over the last 2 years, last Saturday was the 2-year reunion of gambling legalized in Arizona. $11 billion has been wagered on sporting events in this state. 2023 is going to be a record year, and my guess every year after that will be a bigger record. $3.2 billion has already been wagered on sporting events the first 6 months of 2023. That's how bad this thing is. That's how bad this is. Betting apps can be downloaded on your phone, no problemo. That we have on-site sports books facilities around the state. You can walk in and place bets on practically anything in the world now. We have become a gambling hub for the United States. It's amazing what kind of interest there's been in gambling. And it is going to turn into a hideous nightmare for the state of Arizona. Gambling is a disease you can't conceive nor believe. One of the reasons Phoenix is such an incredible gambling hub is that we have all the sports here. We have sports all over the place in Phoenix, right? We've got the Sun Devils, we've got the Diamondbacks, we've got the Cardinals, we got the PGA, we got NASCAR. We've got every other state, city, county, local, everywhere, all over the state. Soccer is huge here. Everything is focusing on sports in Arizona. It's one of the sporting hub states of the entire country. And gambling is killing us. Why is gambling so deadly? I'm glad you asked. Thanks for asking that. Let's go to Colossians chapter 3. Check out verse 5 and 6. It's quite remarkable. The great apostle Paul wrote this to the Colossian church at Colossae. And here's what he said, quote, mortify in Greek means to execute or murder or kill. Mortify your members, Greek word melos, that's your body parts, which are upon the earth. And he said, mortify them, kill them, so you don't engage in these following things. Here he goes. Number 1, fornication, Greek word porneia. It means any form of sexual sin. Homosexuality, bisexuality, adultery, heterosexual relationships, wife swapping, group sex, pornography. Anything falls under pornography. Anything falls under porneia. Porneia covers any and all sexual sins. Uncleanness, akatharsia, the Greek word means moral impurities. The next one on his list was inordinate affections. Greek word pathos. It means negative, destructive emotions. The next one on Paul's list was evil concupiscence. Kakos epithemia. It means bad, negative lusts. Lust for sin. Lust for food, sex, drugs, alcohol, you name it. Lust. Epithemia. Covetousness. Pleonexia. Greed. Emotions that generate greed. And Paul said, listen to this, covetousness is the same as idolatry. Did you hear that? This is hard to believe. Covetousness is the same as idolatry. Worshipping idols. Moloch, Chemosh, Baal. Having a lust, a greedy lust for money and materialism is the same as worshiping Moloch and Baal. Can you imagine that? What a revelation that is. That's how God sees it. Putting money and material things ahead of the Lord is idolatry to him. And then it says, listen, there's another statement after this, which is even more shocking. Paul says, which things cause the wrath of God to come upon the children of disobedience. Greek word for wrath there is orge. Orge means anger. The anger of God comes on the children of disobedience. Greek word huios, sons. That verse was mistranslated. It should have been translated sons of disobedience. When you get involved in these things, there's 5 of them. I just read you the 5, the big 5. Those things there generate the anger of God. And the worst one of them all, covetousness, which is the same as idolatry to God. Can you imagine that? Wow, it's unbelievable what's happening to the great state of Arizona. We are now breeding potheads, pot addicts, and gambling addictions all across the state. How do you know you have a gambling addiction? How do you know you have a gambling addiction? Well, believe it or not, the symptoms are similar to PTSD. The symptoms are similar. There is a tremendous surge out of the soul of your emotions and your anxiety when it comes to placing a bet and when it comes to waiting for the results of the bet. 34% of all people who seek treatment for gambling addictions exhibit the same symptoms as a veteran coming back from a tour in Afghanistan with PTSD. Psychologists and psychiatrists have noticed that the symptomatology is the same in 34% of the cases. In addition, gambling addicts also have chronic anxiety and chronic depression disorders. In addition, they also have substance abuse disorders, and some even have antisocial personality disorders. Gambling is an extremely evil method of destruction that Satan is using to slaughter the United States, and in particular Arizona. We're going to go down quicker than the other states. Do you have a gambling addiction? Do you have a preoccupation with gambling? Do you think about it all the time? Do you try to quit and you can't stop? Do you feel restless before making a bet? Do you feel restless after you make the bet? Are you having unusual anxiety or stress over making bets? Has gambling surpassed meaningful relationships with wife, husband, children, parents, fiancés, etc.? Do you lie about gambling to other people? Do you lie about it? Have you been caught lying? Have you caught yourself lying? All these symptoms that I've just mentioned indicate that you have a gambling addiction. You are in deep trouble. You have been infected with greed spirits. You have greed demons. You can come and get delivered. You can come and get healed. I see this healed all the time. Lust for money and lust for material things can be destroyed. I've seen it happen hundreds of times. 602-636-5800. Covetousness is so sinful and so wicked. It brings down the wrath of God, and it is the same as idolatry. Jehovah, the great Hebrew God, hated idolatry when Israel would go back into sin and chase after false gods. It drove him crazy. If you are a gambling addict, or you're starting to develop an addiction and you're going to lose everything, your home, your car, your money, your savings, your retirement, it will all be gone. Trust me, the devil will not stop until he gets everything. Come for help now. 602-636-5800. If you are a born-again Christian, you're eligible for free counseling services. You do not have to go broke. You don't have to die. You don't have to collapse. You don't have to lose everything. It does not have to happen. Gambling is a plague that will be sweeping Arizona like pot. Please come for help. Please come now.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.